Hi, everyone. Today I'll be talking to you about the challenges I deal where friendships don't work and when friends give up on me. I've been struggling with this issue for a very long time, ever since I was born. I do struggle with autism, including a learning disability along with a cognitive disability. This affects me on a regular basis. I've been dealing in the past, including currently, of being bullied or being put down by some of my friends, including people who I know, or people in general, because I struggle with my disability or if I am different in many ways. There are times where peers of my friends bully me, and most of my friends join them too. I have doubt where my connection with girls, including women, don't go too well as I hope. It is hard to explain why it doesn't go too well, but here is the best thing that I can say. I have challenges with some girls, including some women, because they make fun of me for struggling with a disability, or if I struggle on social cues, or if I struggle to figure out how to communicate my thoughts efficiently in different social settings or social environment settings. They even sometimes do is spread bad rumors about me to other people online or sometimes in gossip. Some of my friends or people who know me sometimes spread bad rumors about me which aren't true. This changes other people around me, where other people start to believe in what they say, even if it wasn't true. And I even get further judged for being different, including struggling with my disability very harshly. Social media platforms have become increasingly harder for me to navigate or to even communicate efficiently. I have doubt where people who are connected with me on these platforms chooses other people that they like instead of me. Put me down for struggling when I'm trying to navigate society, or if I struggle with creativity, or if I struggle with trying to be positive when I deal with challenges too. Another thing to add is to these platforms is that it is hard when some of my friends or people who I know that I am connected with compare on how many friends or followers or even how many likes, including comments, they get than me. In social settings, in society, and even on social media platforms, I get ghosted all the time by people, including some girls, some of my friends, and people who I know. If I said I would like to have a chat with you, or if you like to hang out, it's like a cricket noise inside my head when I don't get a response, or if they even don't show up to hang out when they promise to. Inside of me, I feel sadness and confused. Why do people like to ghost me, even if I struggle with my disability, or if I struggle with social cues, or if I am not perfect, like how they want me to be? Also, I've been dealing with hard times with some of my friends or people who I know just don't want to listen to me when I have difficult times or if I want to share my interest with people. They want me to listen to them more, and it is hard for me to really communicate anything. I can't even say, let's change the subject, or I can't even say, let's talk about a different subject, or if you could please take the time to listen to me. A lot of people don't like to hear that, and I just keep getting ignored or shut down. I have dealt where many times some of my friends, including people who I know, want me to be supportive of them when they make achievements or when they're being creative or they're simply just having a hard time, but they don't want to be appreciative of me for trying to be a good listener or trying to be a supportive person because I deeply care about people, where I want people to feel okay when they struggle or when they make achievements. But it hits me hard when they don't want to listen to back to me, even if I struggle with my disability or if I'm having a hard time or if I'm simply just trying to be creative too or to share my interests too. I am a Christian myself. I'm trying to navigate a society with a disability. Having friendships with people who are very religious or with other Christians or people in general is never easy. I dealt with the hardships of where people uses Jesus' name as a way to use for hate, including bigotry against me with a disability or even using anti-disability stigma. I feel confused about myself as a Christian. Is it really true that Jesus wants to advocate for hate? Or is is it bad for me to be a Christian with a disability? Am I not a good friend if I struggle with my disability, including being a Christian? I am an Asian American with a disability, and it hits me hard where some Asians, including some Asian American, tease me or harshly judge me, where they assume that a person with a disability isn't really an Asian American, or they get critical on how my disability makes them look bad. And also deal with some former friends that are Asian and Asian Americans where they tease me and put me down even further. In the very toxic political environment, I have dealt with some of my friends, including people who I know have supported MAGA candidates, including the T word candidate, who is now president, where they like to use, including him, like to use bigotry and hate against people with disabilities, or try to push for anti disability stigma too. It is hard when people who I know or friends who support these type of people where they say cruel things against people with disabilities, and they use this as a way to say mean things to me or continue to bully me with a lot of anti-disability stigma. Even if people didn't vote for these MAGA people, they do this type of behavior where they continue to bully me with a disability, do other forms of harassment, including sometimes spit at me, and make cruel anti disability remarks. I have to be careful with these challenges and understanding myself as I deal with the challenges of not having friends, when people get mean at me, and when friends give up on me. It is time for me to think and brainstorm and do critical thinking. I have tried to go cold turkey on social media platforms and switch to more of a cell phone and email or WhatsApp basis, but it doesn't work that well because many of my friends, including people who I know, have to be on social media and they ignore email or phone or text or WhatsApp if I want to communicate through there. There are times where many of them use social media where they um, could take the time to be supportive of me. And sometimes, if I'm off from social media, they criticize me for not being supportive of them. Sometimes they will call me a bad person because they feel like I didn't care about them when they talked about themselves on social media platforms. I try to explain to them that social media platform makes me uncomfortable and I easily get bullied or being put down on them. I tried to communicate the best as I could to explain that I do care about people who I know or who I have connected with when they are having a hard time or when they're making some achievements. In my mind, I wish I could have said more things like, why aren't you supportive of me on social media when I have been all kind to you back? Oh, you haven't. You haven't responded to any of my messages when I feel like I want to have a chat or to connect with. I didn't want to ask this type of phrase out loud because it will make it even worse. All I can simply just do is to reduce how much I scroll on social media platforms. Create a time schedule of when I need to use social media platforms to, to reduce me from looking on social media platform itself. Continue to try to be kind to other people on these platforms, even if people aren't appreciative of me on there. And also, I have to brainstorm on a daily basis of deciding if I should post on social media or not, or when is the right time to do it. I will use critical thinking and try to create an idea of when I feel comfortable to post on social media. Switch to um, make contact more on email or phone or text or WhatsApp as a better form of communication, even if it isn't popular or if people or friends don't want to be understanding of my challenges with communication on social media platforms. As a Christian myself with a disability, I even get bullied or even put down by other Christian friends or people who are very religious. I have to tell myself that I need to have boundaries from them. I have to remind myself that I want to follow a good path where Jesus Christ wants me to continue to focus on good things, be creative while using critical thinking, advocating while supporting social justice causes too, including helping the poor or disadvantaged. As an Asian American with a disability, I have to set boundaries away from a lot of social groups filled with Asians, including Asian Americans, because they get mean at me. And I have to hide my identity from others. But I have to tell people that I'm just a mixed race. And I spend my own time trying to brainstorm on how to be okay as an Asian American with a disability. When friends, including people who I know, get mean at me, or when people don't want to treat me as a human being who wants to do good things, or even if they don't want to recognize on how much I really care about them, I have to remind myself that I am just a human being who struggles with a disability, but really wants to continue to do good things like kindness, compassion, understanding, and critical thinking too. I have to do me time. What does me time mean? It is something that I have created where I can spend time by myself doing things. Like, for example, do a solo travel to Los Angeles where I can explore the city and have fun and have different experiences. Also, in my me time, I go for a walk to get some exercise or go to the gym to help keep myself in shape. Treat myself out to a nice meal or a snack from a cafe. Do some volunteering to help the poor or disadvantaged as the best as I could. Focus on my hobbies, like working on writing, watching TV shows, including movies. Play video games too, and spend time with my historical figures to help keep myself motivated. I was scared of doing this me time because I'm afraid on how will I do okay if I can't have friends or if on my own because friends give up on me. All I have to do is to tell myself that I have to be a human being, continue to focus on doing good things, have the ability to use critical thinking to understand the world or to learn things, and it's okay that I am different because everybody struggles. Also, what is hard about me doing me time in society is I get increased bullying and harassment from people in public places, or even if I travel, which makes me scared too. Sometimes I have to be careful and have to remind myself that I have to use critical thinking as an advantage. I understand that we live in a society where there is a lot of political polarization, and I might not agree with everyone's opinion. But when people use anti disability stigma or make bad comments about people with disabilities, or even support candidates who want to use hate, including bigotry, I cannot be okay with that. I have to give them boundaries, and I have to tell myself that I am just a human being who really isn't part of an ideology or a political party, that it is okay for me as a human being with good principles like universal health care, social justice, human rights, including people with disability rights, comprehensive criminal justice reform, immigration reform, and ideas to reduce corruption in government, that these are the basic fundamental principles, that isn't a bad thing and it isn't a political party issue. It is a common sense issue to make our world, including our country, a better place. Whenever people try to do MAGA behavior, even if they didn't vote for this type of person, I have to be careful on how I interact. I keep my head down, focus on doing a task in a workplace or volunteering setting, or in a public place. I try to give myself extra distance so I won't be easily provoked. It makes me sad when my friendships with connections with a girl doesn't go too well because they make fun of me for struggling with a disability, or if I struggle with social cues, or it is hard for me to communicate my thoughts at different social settings, including on social media platforms too. I have to remind myself that I am a human being who really cares about girls or women, where I want them to feel okay about themselves when they face struggles or when they make good achievements, and that I want them to do well in life, and that I am not a person who judges them harshly. I want them to feel safe and okay that about me wanting to be supportive for them for the right reasons. My main thing that I want girls and women is to be kinder, understanding, respectful of me with a disability, or to even understand that if I struggle with social cues or if I can't communicate my thoughts in different settings, in in social media or in social settings, or if I'm not a perfect guy or a sexy guy, or if I'm not a wealthy guy, that doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. I'm just simply just a human being trying to understand people, wanting to do good things, wanting to be kinder while using critical thinking. I try my hardest not to blame people who I know or some of my friends when they get mean at me, bully me, give up on me, ghost me, or even spread bad rumors about me. But it makes me sad in the inside of myself, and it's harder for me to even communicate my feelings or trying to give a good insight. For example, you hurt my feelings when you call me mean names. It makes me sad when you spread bad rumors or when you don't appreciate me, when I simply just been supportive of you when you had difficult times. It breaks my heart when you ghost me or when you compare how you are better than me. I know this sounds a lot of things to say, or it might be okay insight, but too many times it gets rejected, and I even get further bullied or even being put down even further. Also, I have to tell myself that people change all the time, where friendships change. People go through career changes. People want to be popular on social media or in society. People want to look for blame instead of using critical thinking or understanding or compassion. I feel like I am a lost person, like Woody from Toy Story, Disney movie, where he tries to help people when people or his friends aren't appreciative of his willingness to sacrifice his good principles to help others. Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, where he helps people when they face struggles and while trying to navigate a society where it is broken. And even when his friends aren't appreciative of his willingness to help others. Alex Chen in Life of is Strange True Colors, where she tries to navigate a society where there is so much polarization or confusion. All I can do in the situation when friends give up on me is to tell myself that I tried the best as I could to be a good friend or to be a human being who wants to do good things, even if I struggle at meeting their standards, or if I struggle with my disability, or if I'm simply just different from other people. I have to talk to myself to make sure that I don't cry or feel heavily guilty about myself because I deal with guilt very seriously when people get mad at me, where I feel like I am not a good person. I have to continue on in the world and in society of wanting to be a human being with good principles because it will help me in the longer run. It may not win me a lot of friends or people or supporters, but some of it will help benefit me in the long run. For example, if I'm a kind and understanding person, when I go to my local post office to get help with the mail, I get people who work there where they take the time to assist me on preparing mail or even help find my missing mail. If I am simply just trying to be a supportive of a girl who is having a difficult time where she is being judged for being a different race, where I give her good thoughts and positive vibes and to reassure her that she is just a human being who's trying to navigate society. She she just tells me that your kindness makes a difference for me. In Los Angeles solo trip, if I present myself as a kind person where I want to visit a museum, I get extra help from a staff member to let me go inside the museum to explore, or to even provide me with accommodations to assist my disability, and many others. I work so hard on a daily basis of trying to make sure that I follow the good things that I have learned in life or I've learned on critical thinking skills through education and even on my own or even through a speech therapist. I have to make sure that I don't get provoked easily or don't get easily frustrated when people get mean at me or don't treat me fairly or when they give up on me. I try my best to always think of others. I try so hard to be supportive of people who I know or who I am supposedly friends with when they have struggles or they make achievements, even if they reject me or aren't appreciative of me. All I can simply just do in these situations in life is to give them distance. But I keep thinking in my thoughts that I hope someday that they could be understanding that I am simply just trying to be a decent person who cares about people, who wants to do good things, who wants to be creative with critical thinking, and who wants to help make a world a better place when the world is broken. I don't know what I want in the world or in the future for me because I get too many times where many of my friends give up on me. People around me get meaner at me, where they bully me or even say disgusting, controversial anti disability stigma, where it hits me even harder or it makes me feel worse. And many times, people aren't appreciative of me for working hard on trying to be a human being who wants to do good. I have to tell myself not to cry all the time, not to get mad at myself, not to feel guilty just because I struggle with friendships or when people get mean at me, when my own friends give up on me, when people don't want to understand me as a person. I have to continue on doing me time, but all I can do is do self care while enjoy my own time. Use critical thinking with creativity on how I want to be a human being with good principles, even if I struggle with my disability, even if I can't meet many of my friends' standards, even if I'm not a perfect guy for a girl, even if I can't do everything that people want me to be, and many others. I do pray every night where I pray to God asking Him, I hope you can help me find good people and people who can be understanding of me when I struggle in life. I try to tell Him to be honest. I do struggle with my disability. I do struggle with challenges of communication. I struggle with trying to understand people. But I try to keep on saying the same phrases that I am just simply just want to be a human being with good principles. I want to care about people who I know or who inspire me. I want people to feel safe. And I want girls, including women, to know that I do care about them for the right reasons. And I want them to be confident about who they are instead of being judged harshly. That's all I can do. I want to say thanks for taking the time to listen to my speech about when friends give up on me and my thoughts um, and how I'm trying to understand myself when I do these challenges and navigating to the best as I can. I do have a message for people I know or people that inspire me is I am simply just want to be a human being who wants to do good things. Even if I struggle with my autism spectrum, if I'm not can't meet anybody's standards, if I'm not a perfect guy, I want people to deep down know that I am simply a person that wants to be a kind, understanding, and caring person, and I want to see good in people. Also, my messages is for girls, including women, is I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel okay that I'm not here to judge them. I want to be supportive for them, and even if they struggle in life, or if they creativity, or if they're just making achievements, that I'm always thinking of good thoughts and positive vibes for them. Also, I want to try to say is that I want I know that it's not easy talking about friendship struggles or challenges with my disability because I get judged harshly by many people, including some of my friends, but I just simply just want to express that I really want people to understand me as a human being, and that's all I can do. I hope this video and my speech is inspiring and relatable, and I hope it helps many of you understand who I am as a person. Thanks for listening.